I will send you the link later, where it shows what is the United for Human Rights. United for Human Rights is an international organization, non-profit organization, where we are implementing the Universal Declaration of Human Rights at local, regional, national, and international level. When we are talking about local level, we are talking about, we start from a rural area, at your place, at your road where you live, from a village. From a village, we come from a district, from a city, from a country. What I'm telling you is some things that I did it in Mauritius. I started from my place, from my home, because like we tell you previously, my rights has been violated. And when we are talking about rights has been violated, since the age of 16, I have been brutally beaten by police officers. And even I have been beaten, I try to know my rights. What is our human rights? Why, when we are from a poor family, we are having this situation, and how we can fight for it. So I started to search and to know what is our rights, what is our human rights, how it is, and what we find that everyone have a right. The rights that we call the first rights is the rights to live, the rights that we have. We are all born free and equal. So I will not go in detail with all this video, all these details, because these are things that we have on Facebook, on our page, Facebook page. We'll see, you will have all the documentation. What I'm going to tell you is how to promote human rights. First things that we need to do is research on human rights issues that we have in our country. Firstly, what you will see is that we started here. If you are connected with internet, Facebook, you will see that last year, many people came on the road for human rights violations that was having with the Wakasho ships that has been leak petrol in our seaside. And also with a lot of issues that we are having with politicians and police brutality and so on. The United for Human Rights for Mauritius, we did awareness on advocacy on what we can say, police brutality, rights of education, rights to live. You will get everything on our page. Secondly, the second ways that we can do for preventing human rights from being violated is doing, you can move on the 8th slide. Is there another one? Yeah, change our shopping. No, you move too fast. On the page 8. Page 8. Yeah, changing your shopping habit. What we are talking about changing of your shopping habit is, we have lots of our NGO, lots of people here in different countries, different places. But donating money in one is the best way to promote human rights. You will say why? Because when we are donating is the best way, that because these organizations know who and where needs this support. Human rights violation, like I can tell you, the Yeshua Fellowship, since last year, we have been able to support and stop the violation of Article 26, the rights to live and rights to have food. Because of the COVID-19, Mauritius has been under the curfew order. Lots of families didn't have some things to eat because they have what they work, they have it to eat at night. But with this donating to a good organization has been able to support lots of people here in Mauritius. Even now, we are continuing to do it. The United for Human Rights Mauritius and Youth for Human Rights Mauritius with the Yeshua Fellowship, actually we are supporting 626 families with individuals which gave you around 6,000 people. We are doing it here in Mauritius. And when I'm talking about Africa, we have lots of NGOs, we have lots of projects that can be done. Now, another thing that we can do is changing your shopping way. When we are talking of changing your shopping way is to support your economic of your country. Another way to promote human rights is to connect to a human rights movement, which I did. And now I can say that we are trying to bring human rights in national things here in Mauritius. It's easy to promote, to join a group, to work and to be promote the human rights. Another thing that you can do is vote in every election, because when we are talking for vote, we are talking about our voice. We are talking about our articles. And when we are talking about articles, we are talking about our rights. Each 5 years here in Mauritius, we have the national election here, where we people, we have the power to change the government, to change everyone to know their rights, the system, to change everything. But when we are doing it, don't go with money, don't go with salary. We need to know who we are voting, how we are voting, because these people are here to our voice, to be our voice, to be at the parliament, to be our voice. Because when we are talking about this, we are talking about Article 15, nationality. We are talking about Article 21, democracy. Everyone has a right to equal access to public service. When we are talking about everything, we are talking about the right of vote. These things are some things that we need to understand. When we know our rights, we will be able to promote human rights by voting. Next slide. Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. This is the next slide.
This one is to put, to put pressure on those responsible for upholding human rights. When we are talking about it, we are talking about the government. We are talking about the Human Rights Act that we have, people who is here like a watchdog to promote, to protect our human rights. When we are talking about to voice out, we are talking way to do it, not to go against the government, to do the procedure, to put pressure. The things that we can do is to do petition, letters, everything that we can do. Because when you're alone, you're doing something alone, nothing will happen. But when we are a group of people, we're doing it, things can be changed. A lot of things has been changed here in Mauritius. Next. Is it okay or I go in detail with everything? Hello? My next slide is to protest inequalities. Peaceful protest is one of the most powerful support to human rights. What we are trying to say here, last year, we had some issues here in Mauritius where people came out on the road to protest, where we said that they are killing our democracy because some things that's been changed on the parliament. We don't have the right to say, we don't have the right to do some changes and so on, lots of things that happen. But Mauritians has come on road to protest, to voice out that they are not agree. We have the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which need to be protected, to be taken as responsibility. It's our responsibility, not people to here over there or anywhere who will protect our human rights. It's us, it's our responsibility to protect our human rights. Next. Support our mothers and parents. This, you may say that it's not, it's something that we can say not, it's going not to be, but it's something that we are saying it's protecting our rights, because when women and children are the two most vulnerable groups in the world. And when we are talking this has been statistically and research has been done where we have found out that children and women are the most people's rights has been violated in different countries in different ways. And in some countries, women's children are being taken like an object, are being sold, are being sold in the market. And when we do history, we read history, we find that there's slavery. And all this come with women and children has been started over there. Next action that we have, take action when you see discrimination. People, what have been observed in different countries, when we have lots of human rights violation, everyone wait for someone or a hero to come to save us. It's not that. It's like everyone matters when we are talking about discrimination, because human rights, you can promote human rights in your daily life by doing some things. When you witness things like racism, sexism, take action can mean different things depending on the situation. Commit to find out what best serves to, you're going to first. Okay, yeah. Commit to find out the best way to help oppose and try to play the hero. An example is discrimination at work. Try to talk to the people who said that the target of discrimination. In Mauritius, in 2020, we had a situation where Bangladeshis came to Mauritius. They was treated inhumanly. So the Youth for Human Rights and United for Human Rights advocate for them. We try to advocate, we try to change something. And what we can say, things has been done. At the Indian embassy, at the Bangladeshi embassy, we try to advocate. If we stay still and we don't voice out, today we will have one human rights will be violated. Tomorrow we will have 2. Another day we will have 5. But if we put a stop with it, we voice out about it, things can be changed. Next slide, please. 16. Support your economic rights. This is something that we need to do in every country, because what we do now, we try to purchase online, to do something online. But if we support our vulnerable and host inequality like healthcare, education, housing, and more economic rights also fuels violence, human trafficking. If you want to promote human rights, you don't forget about poverty. Poverty is something that in every country we have it. In Mauritius, we have around 200,000 families who is being in this situation, but we are trying to advocate. I am an example of this. My parent was in a poverty situation, but we try, we study, we voice out, and now I'm starting to work. I have brings a change of poverty for my family. Every youth, every youngsters need to understand it so that we can do it. We can bring the change of poverty. If we don't do it, our country will be lost, and economic support will be also in a deep loss. The next slide is a video that I want to show you. It's about responsibility. When we're talking about responsibility, we're talking about the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, Article 29, responsibility. Can you play the video, please? Is how do the United for Human Rights International and Youth for Human Rights defend and protect our human rights here in an old country where we have the Youth for Human Rights and United for Human Rights. First things that we do petition to the government on the Universal Declaration is a fundamental and international agreement. So what we do a community, we went on the community, we do petition, we make public awareness and explain then what is the Universal Declaration as you see in the picture. Next one that we have is creating and share link to us. Youth for Human Rights, United for Human Rights International, and Mauritius also, we have Facebook page. You can find us on Facebook. What we do, we create petition online also. Like recently, we did a petition for people to know their rights. And soon we'll have another petition that we are going to do, right, for a house, to a decent place to live, to be insecure, because recently Mauritius has been facing a 2 cyclone, and we have lots of people which house has been damaged. So we are going to do petition to the government to make advocacies with NGOs also. Next, what we do, we start a group. We start a group like the United for Human Rights Mauritius, where we have here. We have the Youth for Human Rights. We do groups and where we try to advocate. We do advocacy, we do petition, we do awareness. For the United for Human Rights, we are doing awareness with public officers, we are doing with government officers, we're doing it at school, we are doing it with several NGOs. And what we can say, last year, we have been able to touch around 12,000 people with our awareness, door to door, and even in community-based awareness. This year, we're trying to go through college and where people are. Next slide that we have is lost petition drives. Well, like we will see in photos, we have public officers, a police commissioner who is the previous police commissioner. We just changed the police commissioner. He has been assigned a petition with us, a document what we call a proclamation, the city has signed this proclamation. Proclamation is a document where you are saying that human rights is something that we need to be applied at both level. When we are working with police officers, we make police officers also sign this document because they are public servants and they need to apply this, we call the Universal Declaration of Human Rights at all levels. No discrimination, no arrest without any arrest warrant. So that is something that we are doing. We are trying to support the government. Now, obtain copies of human rights and film and public messages. Like you will see, we distribute human rights booklet in communities with people, with children. What we do it door to door. We explain people what are human rights, what are their rights, how to protect it, how it will protect them in their day-to-day life. These things are that we do here in Mauritius, and also report human rights when there is abuse. We have several NGOs like Amnesty International, who is one of the well-known NGOs who is here for advocacy and also for human rights violation. We have Human Rights Action Center, we have Human Rights Watch,